Today I'm going to show you one of my absolutely favorite recipes, this golden cauliflower flatbread. I know you guys love it, it's on the blog, and because it's so popular, I thought I'm going to show you today how I'm making it. But before we get right into it, I wanted to give you a little bit of time to join us. Also, let us know where you're from in the comment section below, and can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, send me a love heart, or just comment below if I'm loud and clear and you can hear me. Before we get into the recipe, I just wanted to say it's a really great recipe if you're missing bread on paleo. I know for a lot of people, giving up bread is one of the hardest things, especially if you're used to eating bread in the morning for breakfast or if you're having sandwiches for lunch. So this is a really easy alternative to bread, and the beauty of it is it's low carb because we are using a secret ingredient. You only need 4 ingredients to make it, and it is high in protein, and it's anti-inflammatory because we are using turmeric. So it's a beautiful recipe. I'm sure you'll love it. I love it. We make it all the time in my household, and it's easy to make. So if you want to grab a pen and paper, I'm quickly going to tell you what ingredients you'll need. Maybe you already have them at home and then you can make it later today. So grab a pen, grab a pencil. You will need 4 eggs. You will need almond flour, 1 cup. You will need turmeric, 3 teaspoons. And you will need salt, half a teaspoon of salt. I like to use pink Himalayan salt, but it's totally up to you. Sea salt works fine. Just don't use table salt because there are no minerals in it and no beneficial ingredients. And the star of this dish is cauliflower. So that's why the recipe is low carb and high in fiber, because we're using cauliflower. It's a really versatile vegetable. I love it. The taste is kind of bland, and that's why you can use it for a lot of different things and just adjust it to your taste buds. So I'm putting this away for now. I prepared that earlier today, and I'm going to show you how you can prepare your cauliflower. The cauliflower for this recipe needs to be riced. You do not pre-cook it. It needs to be raw. Rice basically means a grated cauliflower. Ideally, the easiest way to make this is to put it in a food processor. But if you don't have a processor at home, don't freak out. There's other ways you can make it. Riced or grated cauliflower should look like this. It's just like rice, basically. And to prepare your cauliflower, you'll need 2 cups of cauliflower. So to prepare it, you get rid of all the green bits. Just the leafy bits. You can leave the stem on. I'm just going to get rid of the leafy green bits. Cauliflower can be quite expensive, so the beauty of this recipe is that you can use the stem and because it doesn't matter, because it will get grated. And what was I going to say? So our other options to grate or rice the cauliflower are, you can put it in a food, like in a blender, like a Vitamix or anything like that. But before you do that, you want to cut it in like little chunks and smaller sections. I'm just doing this to demonstrate how you could do it at home. And then you pop it, in my case, in a Vitamix. Be sure you don't fill it to the top. Just do it in batches, because otherwise it won't work. It's a bit more tedious, but I'm just saying this is an alternative if you do not have a food processor. I'm just showing you what you can do at home with the options you have. So I have these little chunks in here. Pop it on. Give it a shake. And there you go. It's riced. I'm just adding it to all the grated cauliflower that I made earlier. I prepared it for you guys. But there's an even more traditional way of doing this. So let's assume you do not have a food processor and you also do not have a blender. So your other option would be to simply grab a good old cheese grater and grate your cauliflower using your hands. It's a lot more work, it's kind of messy, but it does work. So what you want to do is, I've already got a lot of cauliflower in there, but you just gonna grab it and you start grating it. Okay, so you get the idea. This is basically what you can do anytime when a recipe calls for grated cauliflower, for example for cauliflower rice. Simply use your cheese grater if you don't have any other options. So I'm not doing the whole lot because I've already grated so much earlier today, but you get the idea. This is how it should look. Also, before we get any further into this, you want to preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius, depending where you live. And now I'm going to mix it all together. So you'll need a cup for your measurements. If your cauliflower rice is too moist, mine is fine, but it could happen that it is a bit too moist, you can put it in a tea towel. Just put it in a tea towel, make it tight, and then press the water out to make it a little bit more dry. Mine's pretty fine. I think it's because it's a fresh cauliflower. I bought it at the market, so it's organic. If you have farmers markets in the area where you live, I always aim to get fresh produce from there because it's much cheaper than the supermarket. So here's 1 cup. I pressed it down, so it's a packed cup. Here comes my 2nd cup. Yeah, as I said, farmers markets, if you have them in your area where you live, go there, because usually, especially vegetables, are much more, they're just cheaper, and the quality is so much better because they sit on the shelves at supermarkets for days and they lose all the nutrients. So we've got the cauliflower for this dish. The second ingredient you want to add is almond meal to make it gluten-free. You could, let's assume you are allergic to nuts. You could substitute the almond meal for, so we need 1 cup of almond meal. You could substitute it for half a cup of sunflower seeds ground and ground linseeds. So half a cup of ground linseeds, half a cup of ground sunflower seeds. I've tried that before, that works really well, and then the recipe is nut-free. Almond meal, if you've never heard that before, is basically just ground up almonds. They're a little bit brown, they look like this, because they get ground up with the skin on. Almond flour is more white because usually almonds get peeled and then ground up, and almond flour is a little bit more expensive, so for this recipe you can just grab almond meal, or you can grind almonds at home. If you have a nut grinder, just go for it. So we'll need 1 cup. That wasn't full, so I'm just adding a little bit more. You couldn't see that. That's it. Then, because it's a golden flatbread, we need our anti-inflammatory turmeric. I'm adding 3 teaspoons. Turmeric is very good for your immune system. And to activate the turmeric, we'll also add a little bit of pepper. You can freestyle here. And our last ingredients, we had cauliflower, almond meal, turmeric, salt, and now we're adding our eggs. So these are organic eggs, also from the farmers markets. There we go. And now you can get your hands messy. If you don't like that, use a spatula or something. I'm just going to use my hands because I kind of love the feeling. It's very squishy. Yeah, if you don't want your fingers to get stained, because turmeric is lovely, but it also stains everything, which can be quite annoying. So be careful with turmeric. It might stain, it will definitely stain your tea towels and maybe even your kitchen bench. I've got a lot of turmeric stains on my clothes because I use it a lot. So I'm just gonna wash my hands. On that note, if you have a good trick how to get rid of turmeric stains, please let me know, because that would be amazing. If you have any any secret recipes how to get rid of turmeric, leave us a comment. I would love to know. And also, if you have any questions, leave us a comment. We'll get to them later, and I'm going to answer them later. So that's basically it. It's a super easy recipe. You've seen how it works. Now you can grab a baking tube, line it with baking paper. Oops, mine is a little bit too long. I'm just going to fold it over because I'm too lazy to cut it. And I'm going to grab a spatula now, seeing as I just washed my hands. In it goes. And then you just have to flatten it out. I usually aim for like a centimeter. It depends. You can make it thicker, or you can have it a bit skinnier, however you like your bread. If you want thick slices, maybe adjust the baking time a little bit. If you want it really thin, like a flatbread, spread it out to like half a centimeter or a centimeter. I don't know what that is, I don't know in inches, but here in Australia we use centimeters, so I'm sure you can work it out. So it's nice and flat, smooth it out, as you can see. And that's it. Pop it in the oven, bake it for 30 minutes at 175 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit.
And if it's thinner?
If it's thinner, like I normally bake it for 30 minutes or until golden, so keep an eye on it. If it's thicker, I would bake it a little bit longer. Normally what I do is like I have it between half a centimeter or a centimeter, and then 30 minutes is enough. If you want a thicker bread, maybe adjust, bake it a little bit longer, but I would keep an eye on it. It also depends on your oven. So if you have a gas oven, it will, sometimes they're a bit hotter. Normally people know their ovens. You get used to it. It's a trial and error thing. So this is how it looks when it comes out of the oven. I made this earlier for you. Let's transfer it. So you can see it really holds well. It's not crumbly. It's like you can flip it over. It's beautiful and golden. And then all you want to do is slice it up. So you can see how beautiful and golden it is. It smells amazing. The whole house will smell amazing. So I'm just gonna make 8 slices.
And then you can toast it in the oven.
You
the toaster.
You can toast it in a toaster. You can toast it even in the oven,
Grill.
so it's toastable. Yeah, oven grill function. It's beautiful. You can see all the seeds. It's high in fiber, high in protein, low in carbohydrates, and it has the turmeric in it, which makes it's an extra benefit. I pop it in an airtight container and then store it in the fridge. It will keep in the fridge for like a week, easy. You can even freeze it. It freezes well. And it's beautiful for lunch. It's really nice for breakfast. If you want a savory breakfast, you can have it. You can take it to work with you. And you can add things to it. So be creative, play with it. Sometimes if I want it to be a little bit cheesy, I will add nutritional yeast, because nutritional yeast gives everything this like beautiful cheesy flavor. But be careful, don't buy brewer's yeast, because brewer's yeast is bitter and nutritional yeast has this like amazing cheesy flavor. So if you wanted to add that, you can go for 1 teaspoon, or if you like more, even 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast would work. Other things, what can I think of? You could add herbs, you could add garlic if you wanted to. I'm not a huge garlic fan, so I don't, but be creative with it. You can add other things to it, to your liking, whatever you prefer. We will post the full recipe in the comments. Are there any other questions?
Not so much, not really. Yeah, people are interested in the recipe.
Yeah, I'll post the recipe in the comment section below. And yeah, so there you have it. This is it's one of my favorite recipes, my golden cauliflower turmeric flatbread. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And I'll see you next time. Enjoy your day. Bye.